Galimera, Galimera, Galimera. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Well, beautiful morning. Absolutely fantastic morning. It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. The grapes are on their way. The cats are happy. The chickens are happy. Not a cloud in the sky. And unfortunately, not a day for good news. Obviously, you heard the announcement yesterday. Trust me, the whole of the island has been abuzz over that, but also over other incidents that have also taken place yesterday as well, which I'll go into in more detail on my blogcast this today, which, to be honest, is a pretty mixed bag of things that have been going on here in Zakynthos, things going on in Greece, obviously stuff going on in the UK. And I think some of you are in for quite a shock this morning with some of the news that we've got for you this morning. But anyway, just a quick look at the weather as always. The grass is looking green, not a cloud in the sky. It looks like it's going to be an absolutely beautiful and glorious day. And thank you to those people who are tuning in. Also, thank you to those people who tuned in yesterday to the live broadcast requesting inspirations. That was a lovely show yesterday afternoon. And thank you for all the support. And also those people who tuned in as well last night to my dance anthem show on Beats Radio last night. Absolutely awesome. Again, thank you to those people tuning in. To see Shane Bowen is there. Nice for you last night, fellow. Had a good old chat in the chat room. Donna in Brighton tuning in as well. Raina Pete Dillon is also tuning in. Paul Mason and Alf Ling. Thanks for tuning in. Right, let's crack on, because I'll tell you what, got some news for you today, which I think you're going to find absolutely shocking and also interesting as well. Right, so it's the 8th of May today. It's a Saturday. It's day 185 in our lockdown, and the COVID stats in the last 24 hours is actually looking better. First of all, infections are down. The other day I reported infections were at 3,421. Well, infections at the moment have dropped down to new infections of 2,691, which is a move in the right direction and is good. That brings the grand total since the pandemic started to 358,116 infections across the country since the pandemic started last year. Now, as for identification into the country of cases, that is also down on the day before. The other day I reported 9. Yesterday there were 7 new cases identified at various ports into the country. Now, according to the national stats, there was no new cases reported in Macardo. There were 3 cases reported in Kefalonia. There was 19 new cases reported in Corfu. Now, Zakynthos has recorded 6 new cases. However, there has been nothing in the local press to say or to verify that 6 cases are being reported by the national statistics. But I think other events of yesterday, which I'll come on to, may be the reason why these numbers have not yet reached us through the local media. And I have left the numbers for the rate of inflation for the year here in Zakynthos alone for today, and I will check as during the day and amend the numbers anyway. So when it comes to deaths then across the country, new deaths across the country have dropped quite a bit, actually. The other day I reported to you there was 83 new deaths across Greece. Well, yesterday there was 63 new deaths across the country, bringing the death toll now to 10,910. Once again, those people that passed away had underlying health problems or were over the age of 70. And once again, our condolences to those people who have lost family and friends to the virus. When it comes to critical cases at the moment, they have also started to decline as well. Critical cases are down from 754 on my last report to 749, of which 465 were male and 284 were female. The average age of those people was around about 68 years of age. They also have underlying health conditions as well and are over the age of 70. So there you go. That is the stats for today. Now, the big story on Zakynthos at the moment, and it is quite a shocking story. It is a shocking story. There's no two ways about it. a 58-year-old well-known businessman, Zakynthos businessman, by the name of Dimi Korfiatis. His name was also released, which was unusual as well, was gunned down by unidentified gunmen in Zante Town yesterday morning around about 11:30. Now, according to the information from the police, the 58-year-old was literally sprayed with bullets from a Kalashnikov rifle as he entered an office in the busy part of Zante Town. Now, the gunmen, who it said had been waiting in a parked silver car, were parked outside the office. One of the owners of the office was also slightly injured, but nothing life-threatening, while Dimi was gunned down and instantly was killed in a hail of bullets. Now, police said they later found the car abandoned and burnt out behind the cemetery in Amber Lockerbie. The Kalashnikov rifle, that was also inside the vehicle as well, after it obviously been set fire. Now, the suspects are believed to have escaped from the island using an inflatable boat. Now, the victim had previously been charged with drug possession offences. He'd also survived an attempt on his life last June, which claimed his 37-year-old wife, and he had obviously sustained injuries from that shooting. Now, the couple last year were ambushed in broad daylight just yards from their home by gunmen, and his wife was killed instantly in the attack. And also, please bear in mind that the couple also had young children as well. So our condolences to the family for the loss of their parents, basically. Anyway, the investigation is ongoing. There's an extensive investigation currently underway, which is being led by the Zakynthos police force and also by mainland police as well, and also the Zakynthos Port Authority, as they are trying to obviously locate the perpetrators of this crime. So again, such an incident to take place here. I remember last year when the first attempt was made and the Dimi's wife was killed, which caused absolute shock in the community. But I'm not going to say too much because there's an ongoing investigation going on. But again, my condolences to the children of Dimi for their loss at this time. But again, it's not the sort of publicity that I think Zakynthos wants to have hanging over it. Anyway, the other big news, obviously, yesterday was the UK Transport Secretary, Grant Shapps, confirmed last night that Greece is not on the green list for British holidaymakers to travel here on May the 17th. This will be a serious blow to Greece, as the UK is the second highest demographic to travel to the country. But for Zakynthos, it is a major blow, and this will be harder felt because the British are, one, the top spenders on the island, and two, they are the biggest demographic on the island as well. Anyway, Shapps unveiled his 12-strong list of green nations where visits will not lead to an automatic quarantine on arrival back in the UK. Now, these include Portugal, the Azores and Madeira, Australia and New Zealand, who actually have banned the British, so you can still go there, but the Australians and the New Zealanders don't want any British foreigners at the moment. Singapore, Brunei, Iceland, the Faroe Islands, Gibraltar and the Falkland Islands and Israel are people that are on the green list. Anyway, Shapps warned that the countries could remain on a watch list, and the UK reserves the right to take them off again if there is any spike in the coronavirus in those countries. Anyway, Greece has been placed onto the amber list, which means any travellers arriving in the UK from amber countries will be required to self-isolate at home for 10 days, potentially reduced with a paid-for test to release on 5 days, and to take a PCR test on or before day 2 and on the 8th day of isolation, as well as taking a PCR test before returning to the UK and completing a passenger location form. So basically, you can still technically come. However, you're going to have a heck of a job just sorting yourself out to get here, or not so much to get here, but to get back into the UK. And how many people have got businesses who are prepared to let employees to remain 10 days in isolation before going back to work at the moment. So again, this is a major blow for Greece, and a mega blow for Zakynthos. And I do know a lot of businesses here were looking very closely to seeing whether the British were coming or not, and they would make their decisions as to whether they would open or not if it deemed viable for them to come. So at the moment, people are very angry at the moment with Boris Johnson and the policies. We've done everything to make sure that we were green. In fact, I think we probably did a bit too much in some ways, putting the country itself into the red rather than emphasising that we are green. We've had the lowest rate of infections. We've had the lowest rate of deaths in the whole of Europe, and also we have also had probably one of the best vaccination rollouts in the whole of Europe as well. And trust me, Greece has been up against the EU with this, with its sneaky purloining away of vaccine designated for the country, and obviously to bite its lip in some ways, support van der Leyen, because at the end of the day, Greece is still going to rely on bailout from Greece to help get them financially through what has been going on. The other most galling statement, I think, that Shapps said yesterday was it was necessarily a cautious plan that they were performing. We must make sure that the countries we reconnect with are safe. Shapps also said that France, Spain and Greece, three top holiday destinations for Britain, were not yet ready to make the green list on the UK's new traffic light system that is being introduced. Again, it's just like you want to shake them and wake them up and say, look, we are safe. We're safer than a lot of other destinations in Europe. In fact, we've gone above and beyond to show that we are safe. And now a lot of people's livelihoods are even more in jeopardy now than what they were with what was going on. Interestingly as well, if you're a football fan, all right, Turkey was also added to the red list just weeks before the Manchester City and Chelsea battle out the Champions League final in Istanbul. And obviously, if you're a football fan, why the hell are they not going to play that in the UK? All right, play it somewhere in the UK. You don't need to go to Turkey to play a final, for God's sake. Again, is football more important than people's businesses? Although football is a business these days, and people not being able to come on holiday and probably enjoy themselves, relax, and take stock of what is in future for when they get back off their holiday. Not 10 days of quarantine. God knows how many PCR tests, and which you have to pay for, etc., just so that you could have gone away. So again, Britain being held prisoner again by Boris's basic disorganisation, incompetence, and whatever else you want to call it. Interestingly as well, I don't think anybody is going to be going, well, you might be popping to the Maldives, or you might be popping to Nepal. All right, but they've also been added to the red list, so you ain't going to be going to climb Mount Everest as well if you fancy doing that as your holiday break. Anyway, one other interesting statement that Shapps had to say was that travellers were crucial to rebuilding the UK's economy. So we'll keep our people inside. We don't want them mixing with people coming into the country, but Britain is still allowing people to come in from red areas on holiday, etc. So again, they're going to mix at the airports. But again, it just smacks to me of we're going to keep people in the UK so that they can rebuild the UK economy. He said, we want a summer in which, with the help of vaccines and testing, we can reunite family and friends and travel to places we love. Well, that is certainly not what I'm reading in this statement, fella. People wanting to travel to places where they love. They've now been told, no, you can't go there, but you can go over there. How many people want to go and visit the Falklands? How many people can afford to go and visit the Falklands? Or at least, well, Turkey's off the list anyway as well. That's a red area, so you can't go there, which would have been cheaper than going to Greece in some respects. But anyway, I digress. Meanwhile, what's happening in Greece then? Well, meanwhile in Greece, you remember yesterday we was waiting for more announcements from Mitsotakis as to what was to happen with the lifting of the lockdown here and what further measures were going to be lifted from our lockdown that we're having. Well, at the moment, Greece is about to quickly move forward. This is what the press is saying, loosening lockdown restrictions helped by what officials called a gradual de-escalation of the coronavirus pandemic. Anyway, the Greek government has declared itself satisfied that previous relaxation measures, such as the quasi-opening of retail activities and high schools, have not driven the corona cases higher. It also points to the acceleration of vaccinations, the reductions in cities' viral loads, the warmer weather, which allows for open-air activities, as reasons to proceed faster with the winding down the lockdown. But a complete end to restrictions is not yet on the cards. So what have the Greek committee said we can actually do? Right now, as of today, the Committee on Infectious Diseases confirmed yesterday that Saturday more people will be allowed into larger shops over 500 square meters, with one shopper per 50 square meters allowed. Also, supermarkets and hairdressers, personal hygiene services, hair removal, manicure, pedicures, etc., they may open tomorrow. All right, Sunday, May the 9th, and they're allowed to be open from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m, serving customers who wish to go shopping or wish to have their hair done or their nails done. However, again, they must book appointments to go to the hairdressers, manicurists, personal services, and the booking out number, if you're going for an appointment to have your hair done or to have your nails done, is, guess what? It is SMS number 6, the same as going out for a coffee or going out for exercise. Anyway, on Monday, May the 10th, kindergartens, elementary schools and junior high schools of grades 7 and 9, they will also be allowed to reopen. However, there is still a resistance on the part of some parents and a few teachers to conducting self-tests in order to attend. Now, interestingly, the Minister of Education, Nikki Karamas, declared on Friday that the ministry will help financially any teacher who gets sued by parents for requiring a self-test result before their child is allowed to attend classes in person. Well, I just really want to see if that is going to work. So basically, the government is saying if you as a parent refuse to get your child to self-test before you take them to school and the teacher objects, you can tell the teacher you're going to sue the teacher, and the teacher is going to get help from the government to cover the legal costs of that. Do you know what? That's going to be some very interesting test cases that we're probably going to see here in Greece at some point. Anyway, also as well, museums can now reopen on May the 14th. So the Acropolis and areas like that, and even our museum in town, that will probably be allowed to open on May the 14th. As well as the castle we have here. That is technically a museum and historical site. So we'll see if that is going to be allowed to reopen on May the 14th. Summer cinema is also allowed to happen on May the 25th. That means your open-air cinemas, they can reopen. And also your open-air theatres, they're going to be allowed to reopen on May the 28th. Now, the thing that I was looking out to hear was what's happening about beach bars and beach clubs. Are they going to be open? There was rumours of them opening on the 8th of May. Well, at the moment, I have not seen anything official in any release from the government saying that beach bars and beach cafes will be able to open on the 8th of May. So I effectively can think that they are still closed for the time being, and they will probably open when the tourists first arrive. But also as well, no word as to whether the music ban has been lifted in bars and restaurants at the moment. So at the moment, as far as I'm concerned, everything is still the same. For me, I see no move forward in the season. However, I'm going to speak with Dennis over the weekend to find out what his plans are now that we know that these measures are now in place with the UK in regards to people coming here on holiday as far as the British are concerned. Maybe we might have enough with the Dutch. We might have enough with the Serbians. We might have enough with the Polish. We might have enough with the Germans. We might have enough with the Austrians and see if that will make any difference to the demographic here on Zakynthos, and also the way people will move forward as well with the opening up for the summer season. Anyway, a nice final story, something a little bit of light relief after all the doom and gloom. A wild boar. Yes, a big wild boar was found roaming in the centre of Thessaloniki in the early hours of Friday morning, around about 2:45. It was spotted by passers-by in the Aristoteles Square. Now, this boar, they said, likely came down from the hills and are in the forest of Selexau, which is quite a name, Selexau, which is close to Thessaloniki. And this wild boar roaming the streets of the city obviously raised a few eyebrows. Now, I've got to be honest, my experience of wild boars in Germany, whilst on exercise on the Lunenburg extension, was you don't mess with these boys. They used to come looking for food around the vehicles. And I remember one night, one of the lads was sat on top of one of our tanks chucking down bacon grill, which is also made from pork, at the wild boar, and then trying to encourage them to come closer so he could hand feed them. Trust me, when a wild boar goes nuts, you basically don't want to be in front of that either. So again, I had to laugh. The expert, who probably knows better than I do, Christos Veliakis, who is a professor of the School of Agriculture, Forestry and Natural Environment at the Aristotle University, said, wild boar are a common threat across Europe, he said, but thankfully the city dwellers were not aware that they were in peril. Well, at least he did say that. God knows what happened to it, whether it just disappeared off into the hills again, like in, I remember in Canada, in Vancouver, bears coming down and going into people's gardens, and people then hastily rushing into their houses and shutting the doors while the bears would come out after their hibernation to feed. So there you go, a little bit of highlight there, a bit of an alternative story. I already see people already making comments. I'm going to quickly read down. Donna Harriatis is watching. Shane Bowen. Wendy Norcliffe tuning in there from the mainland. Alf Ling says, morning, Ginge. Karen Bush is also watching. Nice to talk to you yesterday, Karen, about the happy days in Cyprus back in the day. Sean Bowen said, Gallimera Ginge from a very wet Exmoor and no electricity. Got to laugh out loud. It was a great show, mate. Cheers. Thank you for that, fella. I appreciate that. Gav Kitchen, Raffredge Buddy tuning in as well. Nice to see you. Caroline Davis. Donna says, hi, Colin, you're looking well. Please give Jane hugs and kisses from me. I will do, Donna. And hopefully you're on the mend, my darling, and you're okay as well. So anyway, I hope you're having a nice time over there. How is Brighton today? Is it sunny in Brighton? Anyway, Gallimera Ginge from Caroline Davis, from a wet bridge north. Oh, my God. Piero Lombardo. Oh, there's a name. Piero Lombardo. That sounds like a dancer. He's watching as well. Nice to have you tuning in, Pete. Sounds like a ballroom dancer. There you go. Alan Woodhouse is watching as well. Les Paul, all the way over there in Florida, is also tuning in. I understand Florida's had some elections over there, and you've got more freedoms in Florida at the moment than what the British have in the United Kingdom. So thanks for tuning in, Les, and I'm going to give you a wave as well. Les Paul says, that sucks. Yes, thank you very much, Paul. You just banged it right on the head there, mate. What's happening at the moment absolutely sucks, despite everything that Greece has done to stay in the green. As Europe is concerned, lowest rate of infections, lowest rate of deaths, highest rate of vaccinations across Europe at the moment. And again, we are still on the naughty step as far as the UK are concerned, which is absolutely galling. Anyway, Maria Hallberg is also tuning in from Sweden. Also, all the weather forecasts from Amanda Gregory. She says, good morning, Ginge. Plenty of sunshine, very warm today. Highs of 25 degrees, will feel like 28. Have a good day. Jane and I, we shall have a good day. Trust me, we will have a good day. Shane Bowen has said, did Grant Shapps pull the green country out of a hat? Do you know what? He might as well have done. It was like more like basically a football, draw, to be quite honest. I can't see the logic behind it. There is no logic behind it. The only thing I can see is that the rhetoric that came from Mitsotakis might have been seen as being too cautionary, too over the top in the realm of what was going on in Europe. And that message was not being clearly made, because with Mitsotakis it was, we're now in red. Zakynthos, you're in deep red. Zakynthos, now you're in light red. When we had spikes in it at the moment, and I don't think enough PR was being done to say that in the overall picture of things, in comparison to other countries, Greece was lowest again in infection, lowest again in death, and highest in vaccination. That word obviously just wasn't getting through to Boris's head or to his medical experts, or there is other plans behind this of, again, kick-starting the UK economy before they worry about anybody abroad. But again, that also has a knock-on effect, and you're not going to go from Greece over to England, are you? That's the knock-on, all right? So it works both ways. But anyway, we'll wait and see what transpires. However, to be honest, this time last year, we were still in the same step. If you remember, announcements were to be made in June as to whether travel would be allowed in the UK and whether quarantine would be put in place for those people going into the UK and coming out of the UK. And we were in the same position of waiting for a decision to be made. We actually didn't get allowed for national tourism, as it were, from the UK until the 14th of July. Now, we don't want that for this year. We want to be back to work by the latest, the end of May, by the latest, beginning of June, but not July. Please, we'll wait and see. Anyway, Amanda Gregory, thank you for your weather as well. BJ Neal is watching as well. BJ Neal says, Gallimera from Hadrian's Wall, matey. Oh, the Scottish are rebuilding again, are they? Are they putting the border in still? Anyway, Barbara Telfer is watching as well. Les Paul Porter, the flu disappeared. Yes, the flu disappeared, but we've got COVID instead now. They've just rebranded it. Call it a rebranding exercise. It used to be the flu. We're now going to call it COVID-19. Oh, I like the idea of that. That'll catch on. So, yeah, a bit of rebranding, I think. The flu has disappeared. Anyway, Tracy M. Mitchell is watching. Tracy Mitchell says, good morning, have a lovely day. Vicky Wood is watching. Neil Facer is watching as well. Nice to see you. Rachel Hanson is watching in as well. Dave Matthews says, good morning, Mucker. Heavy rain here at Bryce. Oh, Bryce Norton, where all journeys begin for the forces. There you go. Nice to have you tuning in, Dave. And nice shots of your fishing yesterday as well over there near Swindon. Andy Scarborough says, any news on the gyms reopening? No news on the gyms reopening, Andy. I'm waiting for my gym to reopen. No news at all. I feel sorry for these guys as well, because gymnasiums, they got plastered as hotbeds of infection, where in fact it was proven in the UK gymnasiums were probably some of the cleanest places to go, probably cleaner than hospitals. In fact, people didn't get infections in gymnasiums, but they certainly got infections in hospitals. So, again, no word on gymnasiums at the moment, Andy. And as soon as I hear anything, trust me, I'll let you know. I'll be down there pumping some iron. There you go. Julie Hamilton is watching as well. Hilary Rogers is watching at the top end of the island. Nice to have you tuning in. Karen Greenall is watching as well. Gail Marston is watching too. Maria Heidelberg says, good morning, have a lovely day, and I hope the weather for you over there in Sweden is nice. John Clifford, old Doppia John, says, good morning. morning from Stalubia. Good morning, John. You've been on the Uzo again. Martin Paul Hassel is also watching as well. Wendy Norcliffe says, I wish I'm a Yorkshire lass in the UK. I always thought you lived on the mainland, Andy. Anyway, I may have mistaken you for somebody else. Anyway, nice to have you looking in. Yorkshire lass, like Yorkshire. Good county, Yorkshire. Karen Greenall is tuning in from a wet Wigan. Oh, bless. Don't forget, Northern Soul Show tomorrow night. I'm back on Beats Radio with the Northern Soul Show, and my dance anthem show, which was played last night, is back on air again today. I think it's at 4 o'clock UK time. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'll put something up online. Come and join me in the chat room for a chat. The dance anthem show last night was really, really good, and I am now on before Dave Pearce. We've got Dave Pearce on beatsradio.co.uk, me old mucker from Island Days, and it's nice that I'm before him, he follows me, which is really quite cool. Anyway, Gail Marsden is also says, morning all, it's raining in Yorkshire again. Oh, bless you, Gail. Vicky Lomas is tuning in as well. Gary Crowther is watching as well. Gail Marsden says, it's a disgrace putting Greece in amber. Absolute disgrace. Why don't you just go the whole hog and put us in red? Because to be honest, being in amber has done us no favours. Anyway, Boris, I hope they don't allow your father into Greece if he decides he's going to sneak out on yet another little what do you call it, breaking lockdown rule and have a bloody holiday here in Greece. And I've just been given a heart there from Gail, or from somebody from Gail. Daly Johnson is watching as well. Carol Jameson is watching. Amanda Gregory says, where are the Sandwich Islands? May book a holiday. Do you know what? That's a good question. Where are the Sandwich Islands? Yeah, someone will tell us. Don't worry. Donna Harriati says, it's wet here, Colin, and it's a bit cold in Brighton. Oh, bless you. I think somebody's getting ready to book to tell us where the Sandwich Islands are. Amanda Gregory, up Boris's arse as far as I'm concerned. It's in the South Atlantic and think it's a British colony like the Falklands. Yes, we can go to the Falklands. We should get it all happening in the Falklands. Argentina will probably want to try and take it back, but they tried once before and were rather unsuccessful. And again, people are still asking the question, where are the Sandwich Islands? Do Tui go to the Sandwich Islands? Amanda Gregory says, oh, lovely penguins. Well, that is one good thing about going to the Falklands is the penguins. I never did make the Falklands during my illustrious career in the RAF. It was a detachment for Rapier Squadron personnel, but because I was a light armoured, we never did go to the Falklands. Anyway, Jill Jeff Seed is watching as well. Delia Gussetti is watching. Nice to have you tuning in. Karen Greenall said, TUI not cancelled us yet for the end of May, keeping fingers crossed. Fantastic for that. That's nice to hear that, Karen. That's a bit of positivity. Brett Weston is also watching as well. Right, so there you go. Thank you to all those people tuning in. Can I just say once again, this news will go up onto YouTube. Please, if you can like and subscribe on YouTube. So if you want to watch the show back, by all means you can do. Also, just to let you know that my Request and Inspiration show, that is now up online. You can tune into that and relive yesterday's show. Unfortunately, you can't see the pictures. You can just hear the audio. Emu made an appearance yesterday. Rod Hull's Emu made an appearance yesterday, but I don't think he could be seen very clearly. All right? But other than that, tune in and don't forget Beats Radio today. I'm on there with the Dance Anthem show repeated from last night. So come and join us on beatsradio.co.uk. And don't forget Sunday as well. I've got the Northern Soul show on Sunday. The Soul Cream Band out and about, 2 hours of Northern Soul music. And I've got some very interesting people in that show as well tomorrow on Beats Radio. And again, you can catch that 7 o'clock UK time, 9 o'clock our time on beatsradio.co.uk. You'll find us and go in. Right, that's it. Lots of loves, lots of thumbs up coming from people. Thank you for that. Christine Brown, Debbie Wollstonestone, thank you for your little thumbs up. I'm going to have to go. Today, Jane and I, we're going to go for a coffee together where we can sit down and we can eat some cake as well. So we're looking forward to that. And don't forget, if you're booking out for coffee, it's number 6 on your phone, along with exercise and having your hair done on a Sunday. All right? Anyway, I'll catch you later. You be good and have a great day. We're keeping smiling. And a big shout out to Jackie Baker, Karen Greenall. Take care, she says, and see you soon. Lovely to speak to you. I will catch and keep my ear to the ground and see if we can find out anything else that's going on here in Zakynthos and Greece. Ta-ra.